Long way, get this shit a long way, shit a long way. Long way, hit the long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, gotta get the shit a long way, gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, but she don't understand. She be trippin' every day, she be trippin' every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, every day we gotta get paid, I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, no we gotta finish rich, no we gotta finish rich, got a new bitch, she don't understand rich, she don't understand, niggas gotta get rich, she don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit, no we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, tryna get this shit the long way, Coach is tryna wrap up a entree, told you the other day that did my phone strong, we gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, get the shit the long way, my bitch be trippin' back and forth like the phone way, my name is Tari, I ain't playing games, just another Tari, yesterday she told me that she about to leave, man, said fuck it bitch, we gonna get some money, said fuck it bitch, I'm about to get some money, so what I do today, I went to get some money, cause we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, back and forth like the pong way, man, I'ma get this shit the long way, get this shit the long way, just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy, we gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day, we be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, for so we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we get shit the long way, cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, we gon' get the long way,
Hey, what's up everybody? How you guys doing today? Welcome. Let me make sure my mic is all okay. Testing. All right, cool. All right, what's up, Mr. Down South Yella, Andre, QJC, Nick, what's happening? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm LJ Young, your host and founder. And I am part of SMD. SMD is a family of people that think like me. And what is that? They share the same gift I have. The gift of knowing that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. All right. This is a mathematical fact. It's not a theory of mine. It's not, because math has been here before I was born. So I'm just using math. All right. Well, the people that live on the negative side of the economy are called debt slaves. People that believe they can own with absolutely no money of their own. People that believe they can buy houses with mortgages, cars with car loans, save for retirement while having student loan debt older than the retirement plan itself. That's called debt slaves. They don't know that they own nothing. They can't save for retirement. They can't do anything without asking permission. Hey, bank, can I buy a house? Hey, bank, can I buy a car? Hey, bank, can I buy some clothes, a phone? All right. Now, I was once there on the negative side. I was the best kind of debt slave, the six-figure earning, college educated kind, the ones that go deep in debt because we make six figures. All right. I was that person. Got to zero, followed Dave Ramsey's plan. Dave Ramsey basically says, take the calculator and his baby steps and get out of debt. And that's what I did until I got to the part of his plan where he says, when you get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% into retirement when your mortgage is your last debt. But when I opened up my calculator, the same calculator I was using the whole entire time, when I put in my mortgage payment minus my mortgage balance and hit equal, I see a large negative number. The calculator saying, I don't have 15% of anything to put anywhere, so you better keep going on that. And that's what I did. So I left Mr. Ramsey's plan, came to the positive side, got to zero. Once I got to zero, I realized what my credit report really was. It was an owner's ledger. It just kept track of all the businesses that owned me. And my credit score was nothing more than reward points for staying in debt with the owners listed on my credit report. That's it. So once I got to zero, I had no owners. And I was like, wait a minute. I own the business of myself. I'm free. I'm free. No more stress. Like 80% of your stress is gone because it's just debt and problems and stuff like that. That's just gone, right? So I said, wow, I'm gonna help many others feel this same kind of freedom. So the first thing I went to was my friends. Hey, friends, look, I'm free. I have no debt. They didn't want to hear it. I was like, wait a minute. That's weird. And I'm proving it on the calculator. They still didn't care. So I knew I was on to something because I knew math wasn't wrong. If people don't believe the calculator, that's their problem. Well, once I discovered that capitalism is psychological, now I understand debt slaves don't know that they're debt slaves. That's why they're debt slaves. I was once that person. Now I'm on the positive side. Now I participate. Now that I own the business of myself, now I participate in the economy positively. That's what I do for people. So if you ever want to catapult yourself like light years ahead of billions of people all around the world, come here and I'll help you do that. But you'll participate positively. And they won't know how you're doing it because they're debt slaves, all right? So let's get to the topic of the show, right? When foreigners come to America. Now, the reason why I brought this up is this. We was talking about it on Kay's show last night in the interview, okay? And he brought up how foreigners come over here, create businesses and stuff like that, right? I'm going to tell you guys something that you're probably not going to hear anywhere else on the internet, okay? All right? Something that, because you're debt slaves, you don't know this, okay? So I guarantee this is what I picture. I picture foreigners are, in their countries watching America on TV, watching how everybody lives, driving fancy cars, living big houses and stuff like this. Meanwhile, these people in these other countries don't have a credit system. They have to buy everything with money, cash, money, right? So but the foreigners, they don't know that. They just watching TV and think they own all that stuff. So they don't know. They're like, wow, man, we got to get to America, man. Look how everybody's living, right? And then all of a sudden, they finally get a chance to come to America. And then when they find out how people are buying houses and cars here, I bet you they're shocked. They're like, what? Wait a minute. Okay. In our country, we have to use money to buy a house, right? And then they come here, they're like, wait a minute, you don't use money to buy? No, you use called financing, mortgages. They'll be like, wait a minute, but aren't you going to pay more if you do that? Yes. Yes. Doesn't that mean I don't own it? Correct. That means you don't own nothing. Then why do all these people believe they own houses with mortgages? Because they don't know. They're debt slaves. They don't know. So the foreigners come over here and they're like, why would I finance a couch? Why don't I just pay cash for it? Exactly, foreigners. Exactly. Debt slaves don't know that. They finance TVs. Foreigners come over and say, why would I finance a car when I could just pay cash and own it? Exactly. They don't know that. So the foreigners come over here and kill it because they don't finance depreciating objects at an interest rate. They don't do that. They come over here and participate positively. They already learned this in their country. They're not, when they come over here, and then they're probably shocked. They're like, wait a minute, oh my God, you mean they didn't buy those houses with cash? Absolutely not. Then they're going to take another step back and say, hey, wait a minute, you mean the banks own 99% of what you see? Yes, everything, yes. And the debt slaves, they don't know that they own nothing. They don't know that. So the foreigners come over here and guess what they do? Participate in the economy positively. So as you drive up in your finance car into Home Depot and you see the people standing in the parking lot working and you are waiting for some jobs and you're probably looking down on them, you have no idea. You're in a worse position than them. They have money, cash. You're talking about driving up in your finance truck or vehicle, pick up some workers, and bring them back to your finance house. Do you guys know they're laughing at you, debt slaves? It's not the other way around. Don't be like you pitying them. Oh my God, look at them. You guys have no idea. You own nothing. They come over here, create a business. Listen, create a business debt free. Debt free. Now, I know if you've never been debt free in your personal life, you have no idea what that means to be debt free personally and be debt free in your business. You guys have no idea. All kind of tax benefits come from that. You know how much money come in taxes when you're debt free? A lot of money. That's called phantom income. Why is it called phantom income? Because people in debt can't earn phantom income from taxes. That's 100% impossible. You can't do that. If you're making, listen, if you're making six figures and you're triple that in debt, you can't lower your personal tax bracket. Did you know that? You can't do that. So whatever tax bracket you're at, you're stuck because you're in debt. You can't change it. Exactly, Gabriel. They come over here. The foreigners are like, you're right. It is the American dream. Correct, foreigners. All the debt slaves are dreaming. They don't know. Listen, foreigners, they don't know they own nothing. They don't know that because you guys came from a country that didn't have credit. You had to pay with money, which is the only way to buy anything. Debt slaves don't know you can't buy houses with mortgages. That's why they have mortgages. Debt slaves don't know you can't own equity in a mortgaged house. That's why they believe they own equity in a mortgaged house because they don't know. They don't know. All they have to do is this: take away everything with your name on it and the bank's name on it, take it all away. Whatever's left is what you own. And guess what? If you're in debt, you don't even own yourself. All you got to do is log into your online credit report, look up your total debt. That's how much it's going to cost to own the business of you. Here in the United States of America, they state it's right on your personal credit report. Hey, foreigners, did you know the majority of debt slaves, they're too scared to even look at their credit report. They don't even know how much debt they're in, and most of them don't even care. Did you guys know that? Absolutely not. You probably didn't know that. I know it looks like they have money, foreigners, but they don't. If they're making payments, like if you see them drive up in a nice car and you find out they're making payments, the reason why they're making payments because they didn't have the money to buy it. Payments say I didn't have the money to buy. You guys would finance electric cars. Listen, foreigners, the ones with the fancy electric cars, this is the only thing they did. Instead of sticking their credit card into the gas pump, now they stick it into the charging station. That's it. Nothing changes except where they put their credit card. That's it. It doesn't matter where they put the credit card. People on the positive side understand that. It doesn't matter how a finance car is powered. Did you know that, debt slaves? Foreigners, they don't know that. They will drive up on a foreigner with an older paid off car with a brand new finance car and look down on the foreigner. Did you know that? That's crazy, ain't it? Foreigners, hey, listen, congratulations. Now you get to participate in the economy positively. And for the foreigners that might, let me tell you something, that might have got caught up in trying to avoid taxes and all that stuff, don't do that. If you want to run a successful business, your taxes better be straight. That's the only way. Okay. Don't do, when you have no debt, taxes are for you, not against you. They're only against debt slaves because they're in debt. They are the taxes. This is opportunity as long as you do it legally. That's the key word, legally. You're probably thinking, well, LJ, how would I do that? You go find a professional. First, go find a professional tax person who is personally debt-free. Okay, that's a requirement. I don't know how to explain this any other way, but if you go find a professional tax person, make sure they are personally debt-free. That is a requirement. It doesn't matter if they understand it or not. And if they don't understand it, that's even worse. That's even worse. If they say, what is that? Why? Why does that matter? You leave their office and never come back because you don't want to explain that. Now, remember, everything I'm saying, I can mathematically prove. I want people to come on the channel and they hear me talking and wonder what's going on. Everything I'm saying, I can mathematically prove. And if you don't believe the calculator, that's your problem. I'm not here to convince you of the calculator. I'm just here to share it with you. Let's say, look. Like here, let me give you an example, okay? Foreigners, I want you to listen to this. I want you to see this so they don't understand what I'm about to do. Okay, for the people that have mortgages that believe you're homeowners, okay? Open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. All right, you see that large negative number. What kind of house could you buy with that amount of money? What kind of house? Tell me what kind of house you're gonna buy. Now, this is where the glitch in the debt matrix is going to happen to you. You're going to be like, hey, what do you mean? It's a negative number. Exactly. You can't buy a house with no money. So you probably think, well, how am I in the house? How did I buy the house I'm living in today? I don't know. How do you think? Who did you ask permission to buy it from for you? Go ask the bank. The payments go to the bank. Now, the foreigners, you come over here like, wow, is that how it works? Yeah, you get with the banks and say, hey, banks, I know how it works. How can I participate? It's clearly that you guys own everything. How can I get in on this? And they'll show you how. And then the taxes are right and you do it. Everybody knows, all the players know what's going on. You're not hiding money. You're not pretending stuff, not coming up with fake receipts to pretend to write up. No, don't do none of that. Because if you cheat on your taxes, you're cheating on yourself. Okay, remember that. If you cheating on your taxes means you don't know how to play. That's what that means. That's why cheaters cheat. Instead of just all you got to do is take a step back. Why am I cheating? Because you don't understand how to play. That's why you're cheating. Once you understand how to play, you're like, oh yeah, this works everywhere. In every single version of capitalism in the world. Yeah, it's all the same. Just different paper. Slightly different rules of things, but the majority are debt slaves, period. Like say like this. I know nothing about the UK. Never been there. I don't know anything of how it works or nothing. Okay. I don't care. I don't have to know. Know why? Because they're capitalists. So if I was to go over there and start a business, I would find the business person that does the taxes for the business. And because they got some kind of credit score system, just like us, it's called different. And I go to a person who's debt free over there that does taxes in the UK. And I would hire them. I say, hey, set all my stuff up. Make sure all the businesses and the parliament, and I don't even need to know how it works. That's what I'm hiring him for. I'm saying, make sure that's all legit. And then my whole team, in regarding the money, they would all be personally debt free. That would be a requirement because they would know exactly how to do what I need them to do in the UK. And I would do the same thing in Canada. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. Then go to Australia. Do it there. They're capitalists. It's all the same. Each key person that's involved in the financial system there would all be debt free. All of them. Personally debt free. That'll be a requirement if it was a person, right? Or I'll just get a reputable business to say, hey, do that. But as you can see, everybody in the world knows capitalism works the best here. Isn't that obvious? That's obvious. Capitalism works the best right here in the United States of America. Once you master this system, the other ones are easy. Because we know capitalism works the best right here. We got the best stock of debt slaves right here. We got the number one stock. Absolutely clueless. Walking around like the debt matrix. Using buy now, pay later services. Did you know, hey, foreigners, you know those buy now, pay later services that are attached to every single big business right now? Debt slaves use those services. They break shirts up in 4 easy payments. Foreigners, can you believe that? Why do you think they come here? Listen, why do you think they come here and the first thing they do is what? Start their own business. That's the first thing they do. Come here and start their own business. Because they know that's the only way you will be successful is with your own business. But when you also come here, you got to understand the financial system here. It's here. It's been here for over 250 years. So time for you to understand it. And the number one key to it all is own yourself first. You must own the business of yourself first. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it. You don't take financial advice from people talking about investing while they have student loan debt. Oh, I got the money to pay it off, then pay it off. Then they turn around and give you an excuse to why they keep it. Give you a reason why they keep in debt. You stop listening to people like that. You don't listen to them. And I'm talking about personal debt. Sup, Omanique, Gabriel, October, tinfoil hat. Some of these foreigners will go into debt. Mother from Jamaica did. I'm not saying 100%. I'm saying the majority of them that come from countries that don't have credit, I could just imagine them watching America on TV, because we don't know what's shown to them on their TV screens. We have no idea what version of America is shown to them, right? But I'm sure it's like everybody's rich or something like that, right? But in their minds, if they have no credit system, so they're automatically going to think like these people are buying houses the same way we are buying houses here with money, right? And then they come to America and find out that that's not true. They can either at that moment, they can either get sucked in to the credit system, or they could say, it doesn't take 30 years to buy a house. It only took me 1 day to buy it at the where I moved from, the country I live. Exactly. And it's the same way here, just houses cost more here. That's it. You can still buy them in cash, but they just cost more because we got a higher volume of debt slaves here. It's all about where you live. You see how well we protect our debt slaves? Hey, man. Listen, why do you think U.S. currency is the number one put it this way. Why do you think U.S. currency is number one all over the world? Why do you think that is? Because we said so. That's why. If you get it, you get it. Okay? That's why. Because we said so. Yeah, some of them will, for sure. Some of them will. Just look at how Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg dress. They don't have proof. They don't have to prove to anyone. No. The more I grow, the thoughts of the views and thoughts of people outside of me are really, unless they're positive and growth, anything negative, I don't even hear it. I don't even see it, because they're projecting. Because you got to remember, if you don't have negativity in your life and you feel it coming in from somewhere, that means it's coming out. It's coming from the outside, not the inside, the outside. So you just block it. Negativity is a perspective of the world. Okay. You keep it there. You just got to be mindful of it. You got to be like, oh, where's that? When you don't have negativity, I don't have negativity in my life anymore. Okay. And now I know where it's coming from. I just don't allow it. I just ignore it. It doesn't mean anything to me. It stays where it's at. When you have no debt, stress is gone. A lot of negativity is gone. You guys see the foreigners come over here and buy modest homes, have a family or two living up in them, and uh, a used car, and you think, wow, they're doing bad. They're not doing as good as me. But you're making payments. This is the difference between you and them. They probably own their house. Every car you see is owned. They have no payments of anything. But you guys do. You're making mortgage payment, car payments, credit card payments, student loan payments. But on the outside, it looks like you have more when you're not. If you just open up the number chart that we all learned in elementary school and put the zero in the middle, green numbers mean positive, red numbers mean negative. Log on to your online credit report, grab your total debt, and see where you are at on the number chart. The same chart we all learned in elementary school. Grab that negative number, see where you are. You're way down there, way deep in the red. The foreigners you see, they're way in the green. You know how much money you save when you have no mortgage payment or rent payment because you own your house? There is no better investment than that. Foreigners, debt slaves don't know that. They don't know that if they pay their house off, they will have eliminated their largest monthly expense that they've had all their life forever. It's gone forever. They don't know that. That's why when you come to the positive side, taxes are your friend. It almost feels like a reward for following the laws and rules. It's almost it feels like a reward for doing that. When you hear legally not pay taxes, if you're in debt, you probably have no idea what that means, never heard of it. Because you've probably been told taxes are bad all your entire life. Oh man, try to avoid them, hide, whatever. Do you guys know millions of you guys give the IRS practice every single day. You guys have a pattern, just do the same shit and think you're doing something new. You're not doing nothing new. You guys all do it. When you're in debt, when you understand there's a positive side to the economy, there's another language over here that you don't know that exists. So you can't speak it. You have no idea that it exists. Like, here, let me give you an example of the language. Nobody gets a finance car on sale. You can't save money. You can't save gas money in a financed electric car. Now, when you hear me say that, you're probably like, if you're a person like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you can't buy a house with a mortgage? All you got to do is open up the calculator and see what I'm talking about. Open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? That means they bought you with the house. They bought you using the house. That's how much you owe them. This is not a secret, okay? I don't want you to think the banks are tricking you or something. It's the paperwork you signed. You guys sign all that paperwork, have no idea what any of it means, no lawyer or nothing, just sign here, initial here, sign. I did all that. I did all that when I was a debt slave. I didn't know what I was signing. No lawyer or anything to explain anything, all these papers. That means you don't own nothing until they get all their money back. That's what it basically means. But if you come up there asking for a 30-year loan and you ain't paid off your student loans in 20, They're going to financially abuse you because you don't know that you should not be doing that. Foreigners don't have student loan debt, credit card debt. I'm not going to say all of them, but I guarantee the ones that come from no credit countries, they probably like, wait a minute, we can thrive over here if we just stick to what we already been doing. Yes. But if you're the one that fell for not paying your taxes, don't do that part. Don't do that part. If you participate correctly, you'll know what I mean. Okay, don't do the other part. Don't say, hey, don't fall into that. That's a trick. Don't fall into that trick. Okay. QJC says, question LJ, would you invest in a up running success business? I mean, I'm not really but you know me, if I'm talking business and it's a person, I would have to find out who's the head of it, who's running it. Is it a personal owned business? Those are things I want to know who's running it first. That's the first question. Right. Or this, or better yet, QJ say, I would just go hire a debt-free, personally debt-free investor. And I say, hey man, invest for me. Because I don't want to know all that stuff. I'll find a professional that is a professional in it and make sure he's personally debt free so he understands the type of investing that I'm talking about and let him do it. What's up, Cosmic? It is a reward. The tax code is just a list of what the U.S. government wants people to do. And when you do, you get a reward. Exactly. That's all it is. Now, the reason why debt slaves don't know it, Cosmic, because you have to have money to do that. You got to have actual cash to give them because they're not financing anything. You have to use money, which debt slaves have no money, therefore cannot take advantage of the tax savings. They can't. What's up, Jaws? This is what I want you to remember, October. This is a mathematical fact. Okay, I want you guys to let that SMD family, let it sink in. Capitalism being psychological, positive and negative, that's a mathematical fact that billions of debt slaves don't know. You hear me saying it out loud? Hey, billions of people don't know that. They can't hear me. They have no idea what I'm talking about, what I'm saying. I'm probably crazy or something, or whatever. Even though everything I'm saying is mathematically true. They look at the calculator, see a large negative. Listen, this is what a debt slave will do, so you guys understand how this works. A debt slave will open up the calculator, put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit equal. We both look at it at the same time. We both see a large negative number and then look at me like I'm crazy. Oh, you're crazy, Linnell. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like what? The calculator's not working right? What? That's what's so, listen, that's what's so beautiful about all this. It's right in your face. I'm actually embarrassed of myself. Because I remember when I was a debt slave, earning six figures, I remember saying to myself, I'm missing something. I said that to myself. I said, I'm missing something. It's not a person's big house. It's not their car. It's not their job. It's not their career or where they went to college at. None of that means nothing. It don't mean anything. I said, I'm missing something. I didn't own the business of myself. My credit report reflects that. I want everybody to understand something, okay? My credit report reflects that I own myself. Why? Because I have no owners listed on my credit report. No businesses, none, zero. That means I own me. Nobody else on any social media platform has ever made a video of them showing their entire credit report but me. Why is that? Because it proves that I own myself. That's what it proves. You're not going to ever hear about somebody going into the credit thing and scrambling numbers and credit cards and credit card numbers and debts and stuff like that, or credit scores and stuff like that. That's never going to happen. Your credit report are your owner papers. Did you guys know that? Probably not. Foreigners, they don't know that. That's why you guys don't have them, foreigners. They do. They don't know that. What are examples of the tax code benefits when you're debt free? All right, let me give you an example. Okay. When you put money into your 401k, say like you put $5,000 into your 401k. Now, this is not advice or tax advice. I just want to say that out loud. Okay. I'm just telling you numbers, mathematical numbers. Okay. And a little bit I've read about 401k. So say like you put $5,000 into your 401k, right? For your retirement. They say you could take the same $5,000 off of your annual income, therefore reducing your annual income in your tax bracket, therefore saving you from paying a lot of taxes. Okay. Here's the thing. Debt slaves don't have $5,000 to do that. So they can't. See what I'm saying, Code? That's how simple it is. Now, what I just explained, you got to remember this, Code. What I just explained to you is psychological. They don't know that they have no money to put into a 401k to reduce their tax bracket. They don't have the money. I know it looks like they are, but you can't do that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's just a quick example. Example of tax saving for SMD family member when you get out of debt. Yeah, that's one of them. I just gave you a tax. But okay, here's another one. These are psychological, Code. If there's a car on a car lot, it's the price of the car plus taxes. Okay, so say like the car is $40,000 and the $50,000 and the taxes are $5,000. $50,000 plus $5,000 in taxes is $55,000. Debt slaves have no money, therefore they're financing the $50,000 and the $5,000. They're financing taxes. That's what I mean. People with money pay for the car and the taxes once. Debt slaves finance taxes at an interest rate. LOL, I just found out my car won't start, probably battery. I'm so unbothered, all because I'm debt free. It's an inconvenience. I remember another SMD family member got his passenger side window busted because he left his bag on his, little fanny pack bag on his seat. They busted his window on a Mercedes, busted his window, took the bag. He said nothing was in it, but he's debt free. So it was more of an inconvenience. So you know what he did? Called up the window company. They came out, fixed it, repaired it, and it was all done. Went and bought him a new pair of iPods. I guess they got stolen. That was it. Walk in, pay cash for a new pair of iPods. Those are inconveniences that just happen. Yep, just call AAA. I got AAA. I got it. Hold on, let me be humble and call now. So Roth and pre-tax retirement doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're to be debt free to go from there. Listen, this is what I want you to hear, Coding. Listen. If you're in a negative, you have no money to put into a Roth, 401k, after tax, pre-tax, land saving. You have no money to do any of that. When you have money, then you can do that. You say like this, say like you're not in debt, and you, in your tax bracket, you went just into the next tax bracket at about $2,000. All you have to do is go, if you have a job, you go to your job and say, hey man, increase my 401k by 2,500, whatever, right? Which will bring you back down into the tax bracket before. But the only way to do that, you have to have money to put into the 401k to activate this piece. That's the key. Debt slaves They're financing this stuff because they have no money. All that money's borrowed. This is what I do, okay? I always tell I help people come from the negative side to the positive side and participate in capitalism positively. Not only here, everywhere capitalism exists in the world. No system is going to turn you down if you're coming over there and participating with their financial system as designed. Why would they not want you there? That helps everybody. When you're on the positive side, there's no reason to be scared of the IRS or IRS agents or the government, knocking at your door because you're participating correctly. You're saving everybody time and money by following the laws. They don't have to. Why would they come? Why would the computer flag you if you're following the laws? It wouldn't even see you. All it's doing is matching up numbers, and if your numbers don't match their numbers, they're going to flag you. When you hear people say, "Hey, yeah, man, I do this and that, but I put my cars in my family's name and this and that," you think they're that stupid or something? You go listen, you go buy a brand new Mercedes and put it in your mom's name. And then they come to you and say, "Hey, we're gonna take the Mercedes." You go, "Hey, that ain't my Mercedes, that's my mom's." Oh, so your mom bought $150,000 Mercedes? Okay, all right. Well, we're just gonna go over there and figure out how she did it. You can't think like that, okay? You can't. Don't think like that. Only people that don't understand money think like that. Don't do that. Foreigners coming over here, man. Every time I see their trucks or businesses owning 7-Elevens, I be like, damn, they are doing it all right. Congratulations. Ain't no hate over here. Hey, man, congratulations. They're doing it debt free. You know what your profit is? If you do it debt free and you pay your taxes that you're supposed to pay, you guys don't even understand. You can't listen. You can't come over here and be financially successful and not participate in the financial system that is designed here in the United States of America. Always looking over your shoulder, worried about the mailbox. Are the IRS going to mail me today? Not if you participate right, they won't. They got plenty of work of people not participating right. Now, I hope, again, this is the only warning I have about the foreigners that come over here. If you're coming over here and you're not paying your taxes right, you're doing it wrong. Okay, you're doing it wrong. Oh, 18 is what's that? 6 o'clock? 30-year mortgage, hard to imagine never missing one. Exact. Listen, tinfoil hat. Nobody, listen, it is so crazy. Nobody in the world can see 30 years into the future. Nobody can see in the future at all. But somebody will sign on the dotted line, like myself. That includes me. Okay. Sign on the dotted line, promising this monthly amount plus interest for the next 30 years. Now, remember, the money I'm talking about on this paper, I haven't even made yet. This is why money doesn't exist for you, debt slaves, because you guys promised it to the bank already. Your car payment, your house payment, your credit card payments, your student loan payments, your collections, your back taxes. If you owe money, listen, if you owe money, you have no money. You have no money. If you owe money and you don't even know how much debt you're in, that means you are the money. It's you. You're the taxes, you're the debt, you're everything. Now, the foreigners that come over here and they know what I'm telling you guys, you guys don't know how much money they're actually making because they don't do it, they don't do with it like you guys do with it. The ones that understand, they know to pay their taxes. They do. Because they know if you do, you make even more money. When you can get to the point to where you legally don't pay any taxes, that's when you know. Then when you max out all your options here, that's when you bounce. You start somewhere else. Boom, connected to two. Just like the central banks, they're all everywhere. Every place there's capitalism, there's a central bank. Why do you think that is? Because it's them. Hey, they were here before I was born. Okay, I was just born into it, but I happen to be born in the best one in the whole wide world, United States of America. We got the best stock of debt slaves right here, baby. Sure do. We got millions of debt slaves that think they own some houses. Millions of them. They think they own equity. Listen, foreigners, they think they can own equity in a mortgaged house. They all believe it. Oh, let me pull out some equity and remodel my house and pay off my cars. They don't even realize home equity offers come right when they're in trouble. Woo! Good thing the bank offered me a home equity line of credit so I could catch up on my bills. They already knew that. That's why they reached out to you because they own your own entire financial life. If you're making late payments to the establishment that holds your loans, of course they know, okay, you're in financial trouble. Let's offer you this so you can pay off the cars, get those depreciating objects off our books because you own first you're making car payments, they want that crap off, put it into the house where they know once you can't pay, they just kick you out. They don't want that depreciating object car, you take it. Get a home equity line of credit and pay off your credit cards, but don't close them. They know you're going to use them again, debt slaves. You guys all say the same things. Ooh, you better keep credit cards for emergency. How about having some emergency money? I know you guys be looking at these foreigners like they have less money than you. They're impoverished and all. That's I know it looks like that, but it's not that. All you got to do is say, go up to one of them that you see a whole bunch of people in one house. You say, "Do you guys have a mortgage?" They're gonna say no because they work together. Pay off the house, buy another one in cash, move some of the family into that one, pay off another house, move the family into. They all work together to buy the houses in cash. Oh my God, they have so many people packed in that. While you have a 40-year mortgage, refinance your house about 3 or 4 times, looking. Mm-mm. Those are debt slaves. They don't know anything. And it's listen, for those of you that want to come over to the positive side and be as wealthy as you want to be, as rich as you want to be, come over here and I help you do that. First, I help you own the business of yourself. And then when I help you understand it, and then you turn around and sell to debt slaves. Debt slaves are debt slaves by choice, people. They're choosing not to trust the calculator. That's a choice. If you open up the calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance and hit equal and see a large negative number and still think you own a car, that's a choice. The calculator is clearly telling you that you don't own nothing, but if you don't believe it, you're choosing that. You're paying interest on something that's going down in value. People on the positive side don't do that. We don't do stuff like that. People but financing Hellcats burning rubber on finance tires in a finance car with gap insurance. There's millions of those Dodge Charger thingies, whatever, right? Those cars, they're everywhere. They're worthless. They're not worth anything. There's millions of them. If there's millions of them, how much you think it costs to produce them? Not much. He said, Amonika says, yes, LJ, make an appointment for 6 to 8. It should be free. It was changed this year or last year. Doesn't matter. Just was keeping up the car click. Yep. That's all you do. Everything, man, things happen. When you're debt free, it's just an inconvenience. That's all it is. Only if I pay for it, pay it off. It's no other way around it. Not at all. Like we're they here pre-19. What was here before? Explain. Oh, okay. Can you explain the role of the central bank? Also, the history. You can just look it up. It's not really that much. They are the establishers or whatever it's called. I don't really go too deep in there, but they have one in every single capitalist system. So obviously, it's a thing that because you got to remember, debt slaves own nothing. Their whole entire world is financed. Everything. They don't know that. So the banks that they finance with talk to the 12 Federal Reserve banks that are throughout the country, and those Federal Reserve banks talk to the central bank in DC. Do I know what they're talking about? No. I hope to one day, but I don't know now. I just know that's how it works. The holiday season is here, debt slaves. Favorite time of the year. You better believe that. It's the favorite time of the year for you. You better believe foreigners are licking their chops during Christmas time. Congratulations, foreigners. The debt-free ones, congratulations. I know you guys love it when these big holidays come. Congratulations to you. Debt slaves will finance everything because it's Christmas. Because it's Christmas. We live below our means. And this was so crazy. The foreigners they probably don't even know this. They don't understand that since they have no debt, they have positive cash flow, means real money. They're financially above millions of debt slaves that are below zero. They don't even have to live like very careful. They don't really understand that. You guys can live unlike any debt slave. Like here, let me give you an example. If a foreigner from another country is listening, okay, so you can understand. You got to think about it psychologically. When you pull up to the gas, say like gas is $5 a gallon, okay? When you pull up to the gas pump in your paid off car, you're probably using your debit card, which is cash. You pull up, you pay $5 a gallon to fill your car up, you drive off, okay? A debt slave pulls up in a finance car, meaning they're making payments plus interest to even drive the car up to the gas pump. And if their car is financed, that means they have no money for the gas. So the only way they can pay for the gas is a credit card. So they put the credit card in. Guess what they're doing? They're financing $5 a gallon to put in their finance car. And then they drive away. Gas is very expensive for debt slaves. When you hear somebody complaining about gas prices, you turn to them and say, are you making car payments? If they say yes, that's why gas is high for you, because you're making car payments. That's why. If you wasn't making car payments, you'd probably be kind of bothered about $5 a gallon gas, but you really wouldn't be stressing about it at all. You're just like, oh, it's gonna go up and down. When I see it high, I just go, okay, it's gonna go low. You guys got to remember, they got to stop somewhere. If they keep going too high, people are going to start stealing gas. That can't happen. Okay. They can't cause chaos for jacked up gas prices. You got to be careful with that. Got to be careful. Yes, they are. Congratulations, foreigners. I just hope the ones that are doing it right. I hope you're paying your taxes. Okay. Don't be trying to do all that trick shit. Don't do none of that stuff. Okay. Because once you find out, you'll be like, oh, you'll be like, there's a benefit to all this. Yes, there's a benefit that debt slaves can't see because they're in debt. Debt slaves cannot save money on taxes. That's why they cheat. They don't understand it. No, well, not all of them cheat. I'm not gonna say all of them cheat, but a good amount do. Okay. This never ending need to have that what everyone has when you can't afford the shit. Yeah, that's what's so crazy. But that's part of, put it this way, that is part of the program. Okay. All of that, like when you come to the positive side of the economy, and I know, and I want people to understand this psychological piece, the foreigners probably don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay. What do you mean psychological? We've been living like this all our life. We pay cash for everything. Well, you guys don't know that that's not normal for millions of people. You guys need to understand that. That plus, they don't know that. They don't know that the only way to buy anything is money. That's the only way. They don't know that. Why? Because it doesn't exist for them. Now, here, let me give an example for people that don't understand. What do you mean money doesn't exist for me? Okay. Hold a $100 bill in your hand and open up the calculator app with the other. Okay. Put in 100 minus your car payment. Okay. Now, listen to me closely. According to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? No. According to your eyes, do you have $100 in your hand? Yes. So which one do you believe? The calculator that's never ever wrong, nobody in the history of the world ever broken the laws of mathematics, or your lying eyes? Now, if you believe you have $100 in your hand, you'll be in the debt matrix until you're dead. That's where you'll be, and you'll die there. Never knowing freedom, never knowing that there's a positive side of the economy, that you can participate in capitalism positively. No more worrying about the economy doing this and that. Those are just inconveniences. That's all. If you live here, you got to be part of it. But everybody doesn't ride the waves the same. I hope foreigners are even hearing me. Wait a minute, I've never heard any. Wait a minute, we've just been living our life like this normally. I didn't know this other part. I know a lot of people don't. Billions of people don't. As a matter of fact, billions. The most of it. Listen, debt slaves. The most of the foreigners that you see in older cars or not better houses as yours, and you're looking down on them, they know you guys don't have anything. Some of them know that you guys don't own nothing because you have mortgages and car payments. They know that. If is that you looking down on other people's houses and stuff, or maybe they live in a trailer park or something, right? But they own these trailers, and you're like, ooh, that's sad. And you have a mortgage. You listen, you have a mortgage in a nicer neighborhood and you somehow think you're better. They know you're not. Only you don't. Logan says debt free is the way to be. Sure is the only way to be, honestly. Not even worried about politics, life above zero. I don't even think about politics, honestly. LJ, how many friends how many friends have you lost since you started this work? I share your videos with friends and family, and let's just say we don't talk about money anymore, but we're still friends. I had lost a friend, but we rekindled, because I look at him like a little brother, right? So he reached back out to me. We rekindled and start talking, because he was close to me, right? Real close to me. And so we just don't talk about SMD. We're going to be talking more about the Sixth Sense channel, but SMD, no, we don't really talk about SMD no more. Are there any foreigners in this chat that came from a country where credit didn't exist, and then you came here and found out that all these people here have financed? They tricked you on TV. You probably was like, oh my God, everybody's so rich in the USA, and then you come here, they don't own nothing. Except the people that understand. Now, the people that understand on the positive side, yes, they have money. They have real money. But they're not going to let you see it, debt slaves. Foreigners, listen, debt slaves, foreigners know that money doesn't look like anything. It's not a Ferrari. It's not a Benz. It's not a high-rise apartment that you don't own. It's none of that. What's up, Sean? Long time no see, sir. I just read somewhere about 50-year mortgages and I'm sure. But you got to remember, Sean, people finance their house 2 and 3 times. They're well over 100 years already. I know it's a big number when it starts off as a 40 or 50, but you got to remember, each time a person refinances their house, they start the 30-year clock over and over and over. Check this out. Foreigners, listen to this one. A debt slave will refinance their house 2 or 3 times while at the same time tell you how much their house has appreciated since they bought it. So say like a debt slave financed the house for had a mortgage for 10 years, refinanced it 2 or 3 times, and then they will go to tell you how much the house has appraised since the year that they bought it, when they didn't buy nothing. Oh man, I bought my house when it was like 200,000. It's almost worth $1 million. Not for you. For the bank who bought it. Listen, if you go to get a mortgage, and you got 20-year-old student loan debt on your credit report, you're not paying a house off in 30. The bank already knows that. 20-year-old student loan debt says you're going to be in that house for probably 3 to 5 years, maybe, till you can't afford something, the taxes or the mortgage payment or loss of a job, a divorce, whatever. Here, let me give you another example for debt slaves, because I know it confuses a lot of them. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, capitalism is psychological, split into 2 parts, positive and negative. Every word associated in finances is also, which makes every word in finances positive and negative. So when you take the word homeowner is positive and negative. Okay. Open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number? That means you are a negative homeowner. Positive homeowners don't have anything to put in the calculator. There are no numbers to put in the calculator because what? They bought their house in cash. You don't hear homeowners with no mortgage talk about equity. They just talk about value. Oh, my house is worth this. They wouldn't even use the word equity. For what? They own it. They're only going to use if they decide to refinance it or pull a loan, make it a lien on it or something, whatever. That's when you talk about equity. But if you're not doing it, why you talk about equity? Just value. Oh, my house. How much is your house worth? $1 million? What's up, Jacquees? My income is finally stabilizing, and I'm seeing my buddy I'm renting from freak out about a mortgage he couldn't afford he couldn't afford freak out. I wonder what he'll do when I leave after my lease is up. He's going to be in trouble. That's what he's going to be, in trouble. Make sure, Jacquees, I don't know if you plan on leaving, make sure you tell him well ahead of time, because a debt slave will blame you. So if you decide you're going to leave, make sure you tell him 3-4 months in advance, so you don't think, because at the end of a lease, you have the right to leave. You don't really have to explain anything. You just say, hey, I'm not coming back. I'm just leaving. But to a debt slave that depending on your money, give them well ahead notice so you can leave as friends. Okay. Unconscious debt slaves can't even hear us. I'm talking out loud. I want people to really, that are new to the channel, I want you guys to understand something, okay? Debt slaves have no idea what I'm saying. And why? Because it's against the laws of mathematics for them to. If you ask the average debt slave, hey, what type of economy are we in? Most of them won't even know. Most of them don't even care. They don't even know we're in a capitalist system. First of all, they don't even know that. Now you got to be honest. If you really be honest with yourself right now, did you know what type of economy we are in? If you do not, that's step number one. Not only do you need to understand what type of economy we're in, you need to understand that we are in the best one of them. The best one of them all. Why do I say that? Because we're the number one currency in the world. That's a statement. The US currency is the number one currency in the world. That's a statement. So that means we're number one. We're the best in capitalism. We got the best stock of debt slaves right here in America. Once you master this system, which I can help you do, guaranteed I can help you master this system. All you got to do is follow what I say. You don't even have to believe me. All you got to do is believe the calculator that I'm showing you along the way. And if at any point along the journey you say, well, LJ, I don't believe the calculator, that's where we'll stop. We'll just part ways from that point, because I'm here to show you something, not here to prove math to you. Just show it to you. I had a cousin upset at his ex-roommate causing his eviction for not paying his half of the rent. When you're young, okay, and you don't understand that capitalism is psychological, positive and negative, you will partner up with your friend because you guys been friends for years. Oh man, we've been knowing each other since high school. We've been, not financially, you guys haven't. Once you moved with somebody and they're a debt slave and you're not, you're going to find out quickly, oh man, I'm short on a light bill. Can you spot me my part this time and I'll pay you back? No, you won't. Especially a person that doesn't care about their credit, breaking leases, getting kicked out of apartments, not paying their electricity cable, you're going to be in trouble. But you know what's the worst? Let me tell you guys something. This is the worst. To me, this is the lowest of the low debt slaves right here. This is the lowest of the low debt slaves. The debt slave parents that put their utilities in their children's name, underage children, by the way, underage children, and don't pay the bill. You know how many debt slave parents do that shit? Put their utilities in their underage children's names and don't pay the bill. And then when the kid turns 18 and goes to apply for some credit, they find out they got collections on their credit report. And then they go to the company and say, hey, man, I didn't do that, this and that. The company's going to say, if you want us to remove that, you have to tell us who did it and file a police report for identity theft. Now the kid is in a position. Do I report my parent, or do I eat the bill that I didn't cause myself? Ain't that's messed up? If you're a debt slave doing that now, you should be ashamed of yourself. I know most of you parents you guys are probably sweating bullets. Oh my God, my kid's gonna turn 18 and they're gonna find out I put that cable bill in their name and I didn't pay it. What are you gonna tell your kids? What are you gonna say to them? What? That you had to have cable? The kids gonna turn to you and say, how come you didn't put it in your own name? And then you're gonna tell them the truth, because I already owe them money. That's dirty. I know the foreigners are like, you mean people do that? Yes, they do that to their children here. Yes, they do that. Put their kids in debt before they even know about debt. Yes, they do. Yes. That's horrible. That is horrible. Can you imagine? You turning 18, you're excited. Oh, I'm gonna finance me. I'm gonna get my first credit card. I'm gonna do that. And then they say rejected. And why? Because you're in collections. Mom, Dad, what's collections? What is collections? What are you gonna say to your kid? Are you gonna lie? Because you gotta remember, 18-year-old doesn't know anything about that at all. So the first person they're going to come to is their parents. What is a collection? It says I owe a cable bill back when it says I owe a cable bill when I was 8. That's before I turned 18. Yeah. How to get there? What are you going to say? Some of the parents probably don't even care. Don't even care. Starting your kid out in debt before they even know about it. Starting right in the negative. And it's not like they took a loan to save the baby life. It's for JCPenney's credit card. Exactly. Exactly. Just a regular old credit card. I disown my I would disown my oh, you must have been say parents, because it rents. Because you got to think about it. In order for you to get that bill off, they're gonna say you're gonna have to tell us who did it. Now you have a choice to make, which your parents put you in a position for you have to pay a bill that you don't own. Because even though your parents will do it, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to turn them into the police. Guess what? Businesses know that too. You're going to pay it. You tell the business, listen, you tell the business, hey, wait a minute, when this bill was created, I was 8 years old. That immediately tells them that it was probably your parents. And guess what else they know? You're not going to turn them into the police. 9 times out of 10, you're not going to turn your parents into police for identity theft. Ain't that a messed up position to put your kid in? All because you didn't want to pay your bills. That's why the younger you are and you understand this knowledge, your dating life is going to change. You're going to be more careful about dating debt slaves, people in debt. You might find somebody online. Oh, they're cute, they're pretty, or whatever. And then and while you have SMD knowledge, and then you're going to be listening for different things while you're on the day. Hey, where you work? Oh, yeah, that's nice. You got a cool job. You go to college? Yeah, Yeah, man, did you hope President Biden was going to relieve those student loan debt? And if your day says, oh my God, I was so hoping that happened, but he didn't, right there tells you that they got student loan debt and they was hoping somebody else was going to pay for it. Now you got to remember, your date doesn't know anything. And so when you get done with the date, you walk them out to the car, say like it's a man. You walk her out to her car to see what kind of car she drives. If it's a 2023 or 22, and you find out where she worked, my 9 times out of 10, if you heard she got student loan payments, guess what? That means she has car payments because she didn't have the money to pay off her student loan payments. You don't even have to ask. Listen, if you find out on the date that they have student loan debt and you go out and walk them to their car and they have a nice car, man or woman, it really doesn't matter. Understand this. If they have student loan debt, they mean they don't have the money to buy the car. So that 9 times out of 10, that car is financed. You're getting your answers. So in your mind, you got to be like, ooh, is this going to go anywhere? Probably not. I know the young men might hear something. Let me tell you, young man, let me tell you something. If you understand what I'm telling you, you will think twice about even having protected sex with a debt slave that you could possibly get pregnant. Because you know, if you got a debt slave pregnant, that means that legally ties you to the debt matrix for the next 18 years, depending on what state you live in. It could be longer than that. Some states will make you pay for the college even after 18. They become a legal adult, but the state can step in and say, but you're going to pay for the legal adults' college. And when you're free, the thought of being tied to the debt matrix for 18 years is like, that would be like drip torture. Biden daddy can't, he can't save you, Nick. Daddy Biden, can you? No. Foreigners, you know, all those people in student loan debt, guess what? They're owned. They're owned. That's why they're begging. They're owned. I was in that mess for 10 years. Listen closely what I'm going to say. I went to college for 4 years, kept my student loans for 10 years, and math was a requirement in college. I had to pass math in college, but I went to school for 4, kept my student loans for 10. That math doesn't add up. Millions of people do that. Millions. Thank you, Logan. Shout out to Jarquise. I thought you'd been a member, or you just came back or something. I'm talking to a lot of, like right now, you guys in your 20s and 30s and 40s, you guys are the targets of everything. Debt slaves, dating, everything. You guys are out here. I'm looking for the right partner. They gotta be college. They gotta go here. They gotta have this much. All you gotta know are they in debt? Because when you're a young man, your hormones are going crazy. Oh man, I heard I'm supposed to get all this cat. I'm supposed to no. If you're debt free, you'll be very careful with that. You don't have to listen. I'm telling the young men, okay, the ones that who want to understand what I'm telling you. All that stuff that you got to have sex with all these women and lie to them and play on them. You don't have to do any of that. None of that. All you got to do is become debt free, be yourself, and be honest with every single woman you date. They will respect you more for it. Hey, what kind of woman are you looking for? A debt free woman? What does that mean? A woman in no debt. That's what so you're not going to date a woman who's in debt. No. You sound like an asshole. Yeah, so I'm sure I do, but no. So you mean to tell me if I whip this coochie on you and I have $100,000 in student loan debt, you wouldn't come after me? First of all, I wouldn't let you whip anything on me. If you did it against my will, that's rape. I'll call the police. No, I won't have sex with a debt slave and $100,000 worth of debt. What if I accidentally get you pregnant? Now I'm trapped. You got to remember, when you use protection, it says right on the box that they don't guarantee nothing. They don't guarantee 100%. They don't guarantee nothing. It says it right on the box. And if you're debt free and you did what it takes to be free, and you accidentally got a debt slave pregnant that wanted to have a baby really bad, ooh. Not only are you trapped in the debt matrix, now you got to be trapped in the same location of a woman that you didn't even have a relationship with. If you want to be in the kid's life properly. Mm. I know the young men think I'm joking, but I'm not. 18 years, 18 years, but possibly 20 to 23 and maybe longer if you go to medical school for sure. I want all the people, man or woman, I want you guys to understand. I'm just coming from the man perspective, but debt slave, it doesn't matter if you're a debt slave, man or woman. Okay, it doesn't matter. Millions. It's actually billions. The amount of money, the amount of money guys spend to have sex is insane. I work for a busier, a buzzier bar as a busser. Excuse me, I'm reading all wrong. Okay, I work as a busser at a bar while I figure out my way into IT, and it's sad for sure. You don't even listen, guys. Let me tell you something. Okay, it's about energy. It's not about the car you drive. It's not about your clothes. It's not about where you work. It's about your energy. When you're debt free and you understand that, hey, I ain't dating no debt slaves. I don't care what she looks like. I have to first know if I go into a bar and I see a sexy woman that I'm attracted to, I'll just go up and talk to her. The only thing she could tell me is no, or she's not. I'll just look at her eyes. If I say, hey, hi, all you got to do is look at her eyes and see if she's interested in you or not. If she gives me a non-interesting look, that's where it stops. I just, okay, whatever. I'm not buying nobody no drinks. I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't do any of that. Hey, you want to buy me a drink? No. But if we strike up a conversation, I'm going to strike up debt conversations without her knowing it. And if she sounds like she's in debt, well, we're not going anywhere. No reason to exchange numbers or nothing like that. I wouldn't even take that chance. But if you're in debt and you hear me talk, you can't really understand what I mean. You're like, oh man, there is no way he would pass up a girl with a fat ass booty. And not, yes, I would. Yes. First of all, I wouldn't put myself in that situation to have to even compromise. We're gonna know when we talk. If she's in debt and she doesn't care about being in debt and don't care, this is the way life. All right, let's wrap this dinner up. We gotta go. What do you mean? What do you mean? I asked you if you had student loan debt. Yeah. And I said, when are you going to take care of it? You said, I'm going to have it for life. I said, okay, let's get on out of here. Why? Because we're not talking anymore. You going to pass all this up? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not even looking at it. I'm no longer interested at all. You give off a different energy. When you walk into a club with SMD knowledge, women will feel your energy is different. They will feel. You won't walk into the club with that hungry look like every other dude has on. You won't be looking at them all hungry. You'll just look at them like, oh, okay, she's nice. You won't be in the club with that hungry look in your eye. Women can feel that shit. You'll look at them differently. Paying attention to all you got to do is pay attention to the eyes. If they look at you a little bit longer than needed, that means they're interested in somehow, something, whatever. Just pay attention to it. And you act, because there's absolutely nothing to lose, because you understand that there are very few people in America who are personally debt free. So you know you're rare. So it doesn't matter what happened. She says, no, I'm not interested. What? Okay, see you later. Plus you got to remember, you have no idea the mindset of anybody in the club. Did they just break up? Are they sad about something? Their mind could be anywhere. A number of reasons why they're in this place, bar, club, whatever. You don't know why they're in there. From my experience, a lot of hurt people go to clubs. That's my experience. Trying to get back at somebody or cheating on somebody. Not 100%, but the majority of the time. All you got to do is have a conversation. You could tell right away. Saw a guy spend 280 and was panicking after a girl left because he couldn't afford his bills. That's bananas. That is absolutely bananas. I know Omanike was just telling me that. I guess I'm not even paying attention to my expressions. That's why everybody loves when I get on camera. That's true. We know that there's it goes both ways. I'm just saying from the man perspective. Doesn't matter, man or woman. LJ, I swear, whenever I tell people I don't owe any debt, they look at me crazy. Friends, family, and straight. Yeah, they look at you like what, Logan? An alien. Telling people that is pulling down your mask. Hold on, you guys. I got to turn this heaters on. 1 second here. Looking at you like an alien. He said, from working at the bar, nothing good happens after 10. That's a place, when I think about my club days, but now I can think about my mindset at that time. Out, up to no good, trying to believe everything that social media says, that guys are supposed to go out and get much cat as they can. You don't have to do none of that. A woman, listen, guys, do the opposite of what the majority of men do. All you got to do is, a woman says that, hey, you just say, I don't do that. They're gonna say, do what? Sleep with any woman? Just because I'm a man? I don't do that. They're not gonna believe you at first. That's something you're gonna have to show them. So if you interact with them, you're gonna show them that you don't do that. Because there's much more at risk when you're debt free and you own the business of yourself. You're going to treat it like that. So, like, you start this is what I would do from now. If I was on a date, right, and I start to get to know a woman, I would say, during the conversation, I'll just tell her straight up. This is what I would say: if I catch you lying about anything, the relationship's over. What you mean? Lie about what? I don't know. I'd say I'm just making that a fact right now. I'm just saying that to you. If I catch you a lie, I'm not going to even say anything. I'm going to leave you. It's going to stop, because I'm at a point in my life that I'm not going to allow any of that in my life. What are you lying for? If I'm if I'm in a relationship and I'm being honest with everything, what I do, and because you got to remember, the worst ones are the ones that make up lies about something that they don't have to lie about. I want you, especially young people, I want you guys to understand this, okay? When you catch a person lying about something that they didn't even have to lie about, imagine what they would do about something that they did have to lie about. You're never going to know about that, ever. So you got to pay attention to the little things. Pay attention to word or actions, not words, not just words. Pay attention to a person's actions. And when the actions don't match the words, you got to make it a point. Stop everything and say, hey, you said this, but you're doing this. And if they try to say, oh, that's not what, no. You're trying to tell me that my eyes are lying, but they're not. I'm going to only tell you once. Do not do that. And you'll be straight up. Of course, the majority of people are not going to believe you. That's called a boundary. When you put that boundary up, you better stand on it. And if you're not having sex with that person, look how easy it will be able to put up boundaries and leave them. Just like that. Leave them. Oh, LJ don't play none of that. Why'd he leave you? Because I lied about this and that. And he said, don't. Yeah, that's what I told you. You know how I live my life today? One day I'm going to be dead. Everybody dies. That's a natural process of human beings. You think I'm going to waste my time, my precious time on liars? No. Where I'm at today, I should have been a multimillionaire. I could have been a multimillionaire in my 20s had I known this information today. I ain't got no time to be wasting. I have absolutely no stress in my life. Zero. No stress. And people with stress, they're like, oh, no, man, everybody has stress. Only people that believe that. I don't allow stress in my life. I don't allow it. And then when the negativity come in, I just look at it. Hey, what are you doing here? Negativity will creep in your mind. This is what I do. What? And then it goes, oh, shit, I didn't think you was going to look at me. Yeah, I see you all the time. Right into the garbage can. Oh, it's negativity stops. Oh, shit, I didn't know you was going to turn and see me. Yes, I can see you. I can feel you coming. Negativity is a perspective. So if you're a young man out there dating and you got some young women coming in with negativity, that stops at the door. Sorry. Oh, you're an asshole. I know they all say that, but you're not. I don't care what you think. You're a debt slave. I don't date debt slaves. Oh, you think you're all that? Yes. Your shit don't stink? No, it doesn't. No. You ain't all that rich. You ain't got all that money. So what? Why are you talking to me then? Go find a football player or something. I don't know. Just go away from here. You're at my house. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm out of here. What's up, Aaron? How you doing, sir? Over all the way in the UK? Funny seeing people have kids while in debt. Poor baby doesn't know it's sleeping in a finance crib. Nope. Born in debt. I was born in debt. Hello, S&D fam. What's up, Jim? I have a friend foreigner. He purchased a franchise and received 3 years of no business taxes as That's called phantom income. That's what that's called. I used to love watching the channel with my ex. She agreed about that until it destroyed her dreams of becoming a homeowner. She used to get so defensive about homeowners don't own their homes. They always do. That's funny. That is funny. And soft brush off the insult of you being soft for thinking you're big head and the one downstairs. Exactly. I know the way the world works, especially for men, it's like, if you're a man, if a woman decides to give you something, you just take it, because I'm just telling you, that is not true. That's only for the men that do that do not have control of their sex drive. Once you own the business of yourself, you control your sex drive. I want men to understand something. When you control your sex drive, you give off a different energy to a woman that she's going to pick up, because she doesn't see it. She doesn't feel that from the majority of men. Most women that go places, they're probably looked at hungry, every day, go to the store. They got to think twice about what they wear to the store out in public because the men are going to do this. You be the one of the men that don't do that kind of stuff. You can look at them, but not hungry. Listen, even if I'm hungry, I'm not out in public showing it. I just don't do that. There's no reason for that. Now, that could be a debt slave that I'm hungry for. This is how I look at it. So like I see a sexy woman, be like, damn, that would be nice. But what if I find out she's a debt slave? That's just going to destroy everything for me. Oh, I guess we're not doing any of that. I can't chance it. What if she's a liar? Oh man, what if I'm not saying don't approach a woman. I'm not, because not every woman is like that or in debt or whatever. There's women out there who are debt free. And don't think, listen, young men, don't think you can look at a woman and think, oh, yeah, I think sex would be good with her. You don't know that. By just because the way she looks or dresses, you don't know any of that. Good sex is different for everybody. Somebody could like one thing and you don't know. You got to talk first. You got to communicate. But none of that even matters if they're in debt. If you want to roll your dice, young man, if you want to roll your dice and have sex with a debt slave and accidentally get her pregnant, that's on you, man. Now you're locked in. Now you're locked in. Let me tell you something. I was a debt slave when I was going through child support court and all that stuff. You don't want that. If you're a young woman or a man, you ain't got no kids, let me tell you something. You do not want to go through the family court system. You don't want to do that. There's nothing worse than a judge dictating your paycheck, telling you how much you're going to get and how much you're going to give from the money you earn. And you have a baby by a woman who's a debt slave, she's going to take advantage of every opportunity. You know why? Because they get paid to collect child support. That's a business. But you know what? I wasn't one of these guys that said, I'm so angry at the system. They're only for women. Men get shafted and this and that. All you got to do is not be part of it. All I had to do, listen, I had the choice not to be part of the system. I had a choice. But since I made the wrong choices, I was in the family court system having my check dictated by a judge. That was my fault. It's not the judge's fault. It's not the lawyers. It's not the system being against men. It was my fault because I didn't have to be part of that system. Once you get out of the system and you see it for what it is, it's like, oh, they're making money off of people that just don't give a fuck about what they're doing. Not at all. Nothing. Just having kids, just doing whatever. Hey, we got together one night. We had a baby. Okay, there's a system in place for people that don't care. Bury you in debt that you can't get rid of back child support. You have to pay that off. And if you have a house with student loan, you probably have an FHA mortgage, student loan debt, back child support. That's why you have an FHA mortgage. He said, I feel it coming. I feel it coming. Financial vampire. I was with somebody that didn't know nothing about finances, nothing. It was horrible. To where I had to do everything. I had to do it all because I knew this person didn't know anything about it. Nothing. I was like, it's like taking, well, I'm not with this person anymore. It was like taking care of a child. You understand me? They didn't want to learn shit. They want to know nothing. Just wanted to collect it and spend it and own it. It's like, what? No, you can't do that. You doing it by yourself? Okay, then I better go. This is what I mean, fellas. It doesn't matter how long you with a person. If they're a liar and cheater and whatever, you got to leave them. Because what most men don't understand is this: when, if a man or woman, but I'm gonna just say with the woman, if a woman's treating you bad, listen, I want you to logically listen to this, okay? If a woman is treating you horrible and you're still having sex with her, what do you think that's telling her? She's treating you horrible, but you're still sharing your body with her. What is that? What do you think that's telling her? That you don't care about yourself. That's what it says. It says you have an addiction that you need to break. I'm saying that because I did it. I did it. Then I woke up and like, wait a minute, what am I doing? What you're not supposed to be doing, LJ? Nothing. You don't have sex with people who do that. No. Women will respect you more. You don't listen. You don't even have to be rude. You just go, no. What do you mean, no? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't allow that in my life because you don't treat me right. So why would I have sex with you? Well, I'm gonna have it with somebody else. Go be my guest. Go ahead. Are you with somebody that does that, threatens to go have with sex with somebody else? This is what you need to say. Go do it. Because if they're willing to say it, that means they're probably already doing it. Now, I know it's easier said than done. Okay. If you're in it, I'm just saying you got to start mentally. When a person that says they love you and they threaten that, you go do it. Okay, go. You don't know that's going to help you. But if you just start, listen, when you go out on a date and if you just find out if they're in debt, that's going to save you a lot of problems. You know how much that's going to cut down your bad dating experiences, or excuse me, bad relationship experiences. You don't seriously date debt slaves. It's nothing personal. This is what I strongly suggest you do. For the debt slaves that have lived here all their lives, and you see foreigners coming over, creating businesses, go talk to them. Hey, what did you do to start this business? What'd you do? Because the majority of debt slaves only know about the 40-hour work week. Some foreigners come right over here, immediately start their own business, never knowing what the 40-hour work week ever is here in America. They don't even know because they started right off creating a business. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. If you want to catapult yourself and understand like light years ahead of billions of people financially with knowledge, now you got to do the work. I'm going to give you the knowledge, but you have to do the work. But the work will be much easier because you will know something that billions of people don't know. Other billions of other people don't know. They don't even know it. And the majority of them will never know. You can ask the majority of debt slaves Do you know what the central bank is? They won't know. You know what Federal Reserve banks are? Nuh-uh. Can you go there and get a loan? No, it's not that kind of bank. What kind of bank is it? Do you know that it exists? No. Debt slaves only know about the local Wells Fargo, Bank of America, wherever their money is at, wherever they think money is at. Debt slaves will believe movies like, oh my God, banks have all this money in it. For what? They have accounts in those banks' vaults. Those are accounts. That's worth the most money. You guys are in those bank vaults. That paper you see, that's just for looks. Anyway, any questions? Any questions? Are you a foreigner with a business that came from a country that didn't have credit? I'd love to hear your story. Love it. Came here, started a business. That'd be awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here if there are no questions. I got my new channel link in the description of this video called The Sixth Sense on YouTube, which will be it will be a channel based about my experience in a 6-year relationship with a malignant covert narcissist. And malignant means a very violent one. Okay. I was in a very physically violent relationship with a narcissist. And the covert part means is that she was an angel in public and a devil behind in private. Okay. Now, what happens in a narcissistic relationship is not like regular relationships, right? And what happens in a narcissistic relationship, you build what's called a trauma bond. Okay. It's like a combination of cortisol and adrenaline. This is my opinion. Cortisol, adrenaline, emotions, and sex. It keeps you confused. Because when you stay with a person who's physically violent, okay, physically violent, very badly physically violent, and you stay, that means something's wrong with me. Now, the only reason why a person like me got caught up in a relationship like that is because I didn't know narcissistic people existed. Because when you don't know that those kind of people, you just think like everybody else. Oh, narcissists, you look at the mirror a lot and you think you're beautiful all the time. And it's not like that. What this is a very damaged person, very insecure about everything. Okay. Put it this way. I remember whenever we went somewhere, she would take like 50 pictures of herself to post the best one out of the 50. She would have so many pictures of herself in her phone that she would run out of room in her phone all the time. I used to go, why you take so many pictures? Oh, I just do. That's what they do. So they can post them up on all the social media sites that they have when they're cheating. Serial cheater. But it's a disorder. Once you accept, I had to accept, once I escaped, right? Once I escaped, I had to accept that I was with a person that had a disorder. That helps me remove all my feelings, delete all the pictures that we shared in 6 years, because none of it really matters, because that's a person that I never knew from the beginning. Once you understand this disorder, that's what the channel is going to be about. It's going to go, because a lot of people talk about this more than I even imagined, because you only look for this information when you're in it and you don't know what's happening. You don't know why this person's doing what they're doing. And then you discover what it is and you see the pattern. You're like, they all do this. Yes, they all do it. They all have a pattern. So The link's in the description. Check it out. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap it up here. Until next time, I will see you guys later. All right.